Oh, Lord. That was something. What is up, everybody? Man, we got a lot to talk about and a very short amount of time in the race, really, for us to talk about at that. I think this is completely the tale of two races. We're going to let everybody file in here right now. Thank you for everybody who's been jumping on. Got so many of you jumping in the stream already. Real quick, read the super chat that came in from Jupiter Rain for two. Two out of the three road courses were fine, either super boring or chaotic. We'll talk about the road course racing with the next gen car this year, seeing how this was the last road course. I can see a lot of very, very, very opinionated people in the chat. I don't blame you whatsoever. That was something. That was chaos. At the end, that was, just a lot of driver etiquette goes out the window in those restarts. But it's something I think at this point we need to be used to. We saw it at Indianapolis. We've seen it, in years past. It's not going to change probably. Mandudo3 videos. Thank you for the 2 Canadian. Cole Custer, I love you. Cole Custer ran pretty well today. We'll talk about him in a moment as well. AAPCS Racing Network. Thanks for the 2. Find it funny how a wall sign caused all of this. It was valid debris, so I'm not going to say that NASCAR threw a BS debris caution or anything, but it is pretty interesting news. News sags. Thank you for the 2. 9 keeps choking at road courses. No longer the best mid now. I wouldn't say that. Chase Elliott, in my opinion, is the man who deserved to win today, and if that caution doesn't come out, him and his team performed the best. It's just road course, just shittery happened. But I'm not going to say that Chase Elliott is bad when he led probably the most laps out of anybody today. The racing itself, I will say the product itself was not great. I thought the product itself, honestly, was kind of terrible. Honestly, there was not too awful much passing. There wasn't much in the name of any, good hard racing. There's a lot of strategy calls, yes, but nothing that really in the first 95% of this race made me think, man, this is a race I want to rewatch. This race has rewatchability. 670 horsepower package win for 5. As a Larson fan, I'm hoping that the tales of HMS favoritism actually becomes a thing. I wouldn't blame you. Trust me, as a junior fan, I know what that feels like. Isaac, thank you for the 2. Who do you feel worse for, Larson or Suarez? Larson. Larson had a much better season overall, and people are not going to remember that because of getting eliminated. Suarez, I feel bad for in the race. Larson, I feel bad for in the season. Suarez sounded like he was miserable. Though it was really nice how they couldn't tell what he was saying, and they let literally a freaking F-bomb onto the broadcast. That was pretty awesome, honestly. I'm a little kid with that. I like it when people get away with that. Jupiter Rain for 2. Cole's arm got itchy, so should get the same fine as Boyer. I don't think they're going to do anything about it. You look at what Christopher Bell, I believe, did for Denny Hamlin back in 2020. I think it was him or Eric Jones, whoever his teammate was at the time. I think it might have been Jones. Holding people up. NASCAR didn't do anything. They're not going to do anything now. Be sure to click that like button, by the way. Only got 55 likes, 270 watching. Let's share it with your friends, tell everybody, but let's get more people in here. Napa Racing Fan 927, thank you for the 2. I hate the playoff format more and more every year. You and me too, brother. And I don't even have a polling interest. But we'll have to look at it. We got to look at it. Man, once we get through these super chats, I'll go through the finishing order and we'll do the race review and everything like that. Man, dude, videos for 5 Canadian. Chase Briscoe making the round of 8 was not on many people's bingo cards. No, it wasn't. Bird, thank you for the 2. Do you think Chase could win a second championship? I think he should be the favorite. He should be the favorite, I think. 670 package, thanks for the 2. Gotta be ready. NASCAR officiating meme incoming, yeah. And then Scott, thank you for the 5. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen a race go from pure boredom to pure chaos in an instant. Yeah, we've had a few of them, but that was probably the most bipolar feeling a race has ever had, and at least since I've been on YouTube. But with that, we got almost 300 in here. Let's go over the finishing order as everyone files on in. Thank you guys all for the super chats. We'll get to any more that pop up after we get through the finishing order here. And while I'm at it, I am going to have the broadcast muted and in the background. That way, if anything pops up, if there's any, just crazy, stupid stuff, we will be able to be updated to the minute. Join live. All right, there we go. Wow. I see what you're saying in the chat about the poll, Spencer. That's something. All right, let's get to it. Obviously, we saw that Christopher Bell won at the Roval today, got locked into the next round. So my pick for the championship is still in. He was my pick, I think, at the start of the playoffs. He is still in by, under this format of clutch performance. His team made the right call. They got fresh tires when it mattered. Fresh tires meant a lot, and they capitalized on it. By the way, click that like button. Let's get over 100 likes. And if you're new here, subscribe. We do this pretty much every week. Kevin Harvick finished second. Kyle Busch with fresh tires jumped up to third. AJ Allmendinger looked like he might have had the weekend sweep, but it was no for that. He finished fourth. His teammate, Justin Haley, gets a top 5 out of the day. Christopher Buescher gets a 6th place. Bubba Wallace, after struggling and this being one of his worst tracks, gets a top 10 and 7th. Tyler Reddick, after having a bad call, fades back to 8th with the old tires. Chase Briscoe jumps up to 9th with the new tires. And rounding out the top 10, we got Austin Dillon. 11th, we have Eric Jones. Corey LaJoie up to 12th on that final restart. Denny Hamlin, 13th. Then we got Brad Keselowski in 14th. 15th, Eric Almirola. 16th, William Byron. MTJ in 17th, Joey Logano 18th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 19th, and the road course king, or at least previous, according to some, Chase Elliott with a 20th place finish today. Austin Cindric finishes 21st after late race problems. 22nd goes to Ty Gibbs. Noah Gragson 23rd. 24th, Cole Custer. He is going to be the subject of a lot of controversy this week. And then you got, I see on the broadcast, Chase Elliott's getting mad at the NBC crew for filming him. Oh, wow. Wow. I just saw that. I don't know if you're watching the broadcast still, but they're recording Chase Elliott and William Byron. And I don't know if he's like super mad. He doesn't look angry, but they're filming him like they always do. And, I have it on replay here, and like Chase Elliott looks, and he's pushing him a little. He doesn't look too mad, but he keeps recording. And Chase Elliott literally goes out of the conversation and walks him. Wow, yeah. Chase Elliott actually getting pretty animated. How about that? That is not something I thought I'd see today, especially with him locked into the next round. But wow, I'm not used to Chase Elliott being like that with the media. How about that? That was interesting. You want to get some real drama? That's the rivalry that NBC can drum up next. Them versus Elliott. I don't think anything will come out of it. I just think it's kind of interesting. You can see a little emotion coming over him there. And they show the replay here too. Austin Cindric basically spun himself out. He got into the chicane too hot. But going back to the finishing order here, 26th, we got Ryan Blaney. I think I said Ty Dillon 25th. 27th, Michael McDowell got caught up in that late race incident. He was the last guy on the lead lap. 28th, we got Harrison Burton a lap down, Rockefeller and Gilliland a lap down in 29th and 30th. Josh Williams, 31st, 2 laps down. J.J. Yaley as well as 2 laps down, 32nd. Loris Hesmans, 33rd, 2 laps down. 34th is Carson Daly in his first start, -3. Kyle Larson finishes 35th, -5. Daniel Suarez also 5 down in 36th. Ross Chastain 9 down in 37th. Joey Hand finished out of the race in 38th, and Daniel Kvyat finished 39th out of the race. So that is where they all finished today. I can see a lot of people are pretty upset. A lot of I love the reactions in the chat. Stupid_roofer, that's a name. Is Larson out? Yes, Larson is out. I will read off the guys who made it and how close or not so close they were to making it in or out. So you got Elliott with the win at Talladega. He obviously will be in the next round. Then you got Christopher Bell with the win today. He's in. Blaney makes it by 19. Logano makes it by 18. Denny Hamlin makes it by 15. William Byron makes it in by 11. That 25-point penalty. That 25-point penalty that was given back to William Byron cost Kyle Larson a shot at the next round of the playoffs. I guess for Hendrick Motorsports, what comes around goes around, you know? If you're Rick Hendrick, who do you really want as that other bullet in the chamber with Chase Elliott? Do you want William Byron or do you want Kyle Larson? If it's me, I'm choosing Kyle Larson, but that's gonna be an interesting team meeting for sure. Ross Chastain still makes it in +6. He's in 7th position and 8th, +2 points. Chase Briscoe. We talked about earlier, Kyle Larson missed by 2 points because of some, as a lot of people would call, crappy-ass parts. Daniel Suarez, due to having power steering issues, -9. Austin Cindric, -13. And, of course, we know Alex Bowman, unfortunately, had to miss the race today, so he's out. I'm going to try and catch up on some of the Super Chats really quick before we go in-depth on what happened in this race. I'm trying to figure out where we left off last. Let's see. Okay, I think the next one up is from John for 2. Not as bad as Texas and Martinsville, in my opinion. No, but I still honestly thought it was 95% boring and then 5% stupid. Like, that's not a race I want to watch, personally. I know that the debris caution was a real caution. I know that they had to throw the yellow. I applaud them for throwing the yellow because it would have been really stupid if somebody got screwed on their own. Let's just screw the whole field instead. But it just sucks how that had to end out. And don't get me wrong, I'm not some big, a lot of people think I hate Chase Elliott. He deserved to win today. Like, I'm not some ardent Chase Elliott defender, but that man was the best all day and ended up with a 20th place run. It reminds me of the Daytona road course in a lot of ways, except with the warranted caution. Blue Jimmy 48 fan, thanks for the 2, man. Man, between your Mets and Kyle Larson, you have not had a few good days. I can tell by all those emojis you left in the super chat. Let's see. Marky Mark, thank you for the 2. Bad day for HMS. Probably regretting appealing Byron right now. Yep. We mentioned that a little bit ago. Freddie Martinez, thank you for the 5. I feel bad for the little kid that tried to get an autograph between Suarez and LaJoy. I didn't see that. I've been trying to keep, 2 eyes on each, but it's been difficult. But yeah, that's not exactly the place to ask for an autograph. Take it from someone like me who as a kid asked for autographs a lot, the Chicagoland infield. There's certain places to ask and certain not to. It's the same with interviews. Need for Speed 5353. I'm not a Chase Elliott hater, but people think I am. I honestly think Chase Elliott showing emotion like he did there, like in the Nashville Media Center when I was there. That stuff's awesome. I hope he does more. I love animated Chase Elliott because he is the most fun to watch on the track and off the track. Like, on the track, when that man's aggressive, he is one of the most fun drivers to watch just from a pure racecraft view. And then off the track, when he speaks his mind, it goes waves. Like, I want a more animated Chase Elliott. Yeah, that's right, Napa Racing fans. Skol, baby. Vikings got the win over the Bears. They should not have been that close, but, we're kind of like the Steelers. We play down to our competition and rely on high-end talent to bail us out. Jack Flynn, thank you for the 2. Today was a great day to be a Justin Haley fan. Yeah, I agree. Good run by Justin Haley. I'm excited to see how Justin Haley and colleague as a whole do next year in Cup. Like, that team has been improving as the years gone on. And I'll be real with you, they remind me of a less flashy version of Trackhouse. So maybe they take the next step next year. Oscar, thank you for the 5. As a Suarez fan, pretty disappointed, but as an Oklahoman, pretty ecstatic for Bell to make it. Yeah, I know that this race is going to be tearing a lot of people a lot of ways. So I'm glad that a lot of people found a lot of good to come out in it. 670 package for 5. I'm a fan of this new car. I've been way more forgiving than most, but today broke me. The playoffs just make me angry at this point. You're not alone. I feel the same way about the playoffs. NASCAR Fanatic 24-25. Thank you for the 2. Chase Briscoe only advances thanks to no penalty. Marky Mark, thank you for the 2. All I know, who knows what will happen next? Yeah. Let's go a little in depth with this one. We'll probably be able to get through the first 2 stages pretty quick here, honestly. In the first stage, really the only big thing that really happened is a lot of people were missing the chicane on the front stretch. That was really all that happened. I saw guys like Bubba, Austin Dillon, Kyle Busch, Ricky Stenhouse. All of them kept missing the chicane. And I think Dale Jr. had said, on average, the Roval, there's at least 10 missed chicanes a race. I feel like there were more today. I think it was between just a new car and a format pushing people like it does. But really, nothing really happened. I mean, I noted that the Toyota struggled early. Kyle Busch, Martin Truex, Denny Hamlin. But, I'm looking at the way the Toyotas finished. You got Bell, of course, with the win. Kyle Busch with the 3rd place run. Bubba Wallace with the 7th. And then after that, you got Denny Hamlin in 13th, salvaging a pretty mediocre day. Truex in 17th. Ty Gibbs 22nd. He was a no-show today. But, kind of all over the board. I got to say, if I'm Joe Gibbs or I'm a Joe Gibbs racing fan, I'm pretty happy with having Bell maybe be my franchise driver moving forward, seeing how Hamlin and Truex are pretty old and Kyle Busch is leaving. I know that Ty Gibbs will end up being the franchise guy, but I think Christopher Bell is someone a lot of people sleep on. But looking at the stage, Joey Logano got another playoff point added to his tally. William Byron got 9 points here. Let's just honestly just look, because nothing happened in the first 2 stages. We'll look at the stage points and see where it kind of bailed people out. I'm going to tear this page off right here. Looking at it, Logano in it got 14. He ended up making it by 18. William Byron got, how many stage points did he get? 9, I believe. Yeah, he got 9, and he made it by 11. Blaney got 9. He made it by 19. So stage points saved a lot of people today, I should say. Stage points saved a lot of drivers for the most part. Thank you, 670 for 2. Last chat, if Larson wins in the last 4, I'm LOL. Larson was one of my final 4 picks. So I'll admit I'm a little disappointed by how he's out now, but that's just because of my own pride of wanting to be right. Gavin, thank you for the 5. Not so fun fact. Larson has only made it past the round of 12 twice, 2019 and 2021. Yep, that's true. I really thought he would make it for a 3rd time. I thought he was consistent enough, but just a lot of stuff happened. JJ says, I'm going to guess Bell won. He's saying this in the chat since he's in the thumbnail. Yeah, I changed the thumbnail like 5 different times. I think I had 12 different versions in the thumbnail based off of guys who were running up front all race. And then that got completely turned upside down. And I'm like, great, I got to make a bunch more. 670 for 2. I lied. 1 more. I hope Blaney wins with no wins. Me too. I want to break the system personally. Let's get to the final stage. This is where everything happened. Honestly, you could have skipped the first 2 stages of this race. If NASCAR wanted to make the Roval a 40-lap race with no stages, honestly, that's pretty much what covers who could get what. Or like what you want to watch for the most part. Starting off, Reddick took the lead over AJ Allmendinger. And to be completely honest with you, I thought that AJ Allmendinger and Tyler Reddick were going to decide this race. I thought Reddick had it, honestly, as long as they didn't screw up. But we'll talk about that later. The toe link got knocked out of the 14 due to contact, and he still managed to charge back up to the front, get the victory when it comes to winning over Larson, I should say. Getting a 9th place run. I'll be honest, I'm pretty surprised. I did not have Briscoe. I don't think I have Briscoe making it past a round of 16. And now, who knows? The round of 8 is so weird that if some fluke winner makes it, they're making the final 4. I'm just thinking about this. If Briscoe has a fluke win or runs really well in one of these races and wins, off of something, he is the guy who won at Phoenix last. Just incredible. Oh, baby, thank you for the 2. How great would it have been for if Allmendinger won? I think that would have been pretty cool. Let's see. 20th different winner if that happened. Correct, Spencer. Movement, thank you for being a member for 3 months. Let's go. Bill is my favorite driver. Good for you, man. I'm glad you're happy. It's good to see some people who are really happy after this race. But looking at what else happened, Suarez lost his power steering. I felt for him in the race just because I've driven a car without power steering just as a normal street car, and that is hard as hell. It is absolutely hard as hell to drive a car without power steering when it's just normal. I can't believe that he was able to stay out there as long as he did. But ultimately, that cost him making it to the next round. But then you got the green flag pit stops, and this is where Reddick and Allmendinger pretty much gave the race away to Chase for the most part. Chase Elliott and Alan Gustafson had the great mindset to get in early. That was smart. Fresh tires were the only way to make up any real time. Nobody was able to pass for the most part out there, and they got in, got out, had a blazing fast pit stop, and then ended out, cycling ahead of AJ and Reddick, because Reddick and AJ chose to stay out longer, and then both had problems on their pit stops, had slower stops than Chase. Chase was out by like 5 seconds. And yeah, they were like breaking in every other couple laps, but at the same time, then it would go back and forth. They'd have some, lose some, whatever. Oh, geez, I have my local news on now. Broadcast ended. So that, they pretty much gave the race away with that. And Reddick at that point, it looked like he had given away second because of a penalty, had to do a stop and go. And ultimately, it looked like Elliott was running away with it. With 11 to go, this is where stuff started to actually materialize and get a little bit more crazy. Kyle Larson then pits with issues. It looks like maybe it's just a flat tire or something. Then it's revealed to be a right rear toe link broke. And as a lot of people have talked about in the chat, that one part breaking again, that was what ended up basically barring Larson from defending his championship this year. He scored 13 stage points and missed by 2. Missed by 2 points. I'm looking at Briscoe here. Briscoe scored 4 stage points today. That was the difference between him getting ahead of Kyle Larson in points and him not. So say what you want about the format. Say what you want about stages. Say whatever. The stages meant something today. They meant a lot. That was the difference between Larson defending his championship, or at least getting a shot for the last 4 races to defend his championship with tracks that are really good for him. Kyle Larson is really good for, Kyle Larson's good at Homestead. He's good at Las Vegas. Admirable at Martinsville under Hendrick Motorsports equipment. But ultimately, it's not going to happen. I like this. Mark says, Jarrett, you were born too late. I learned to drive with no power steering. I don't envy you. Like, I'm fine driving stick. Like, that's how I had to learn. I learned how to drive stick when I was like 12, 13. My grandma just took me out in her stick shift Corolla out into the middle of the back roads of Illinois and Wisconsin. And if I stalled out in the middle of an intersection, I had to learn how to get everything back to where it's supposed to be. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, I don't envy you. I don't envy Daniel Suarez. But then with 5 to go, the sign on the track causes a yellow. This is the turning point of the race. At this moment is when we all should have known that this was going to go from a normal, boring road course race, which I'll be real, this is probably the worst road course or Roval race, but I'd say the worst road course race of the year, to an absolute cluster F. I'm not going to say it. I don't want to, go too far with that. But the restart happened with 3 to go. Quick caution. I applaud NASCAR for making it quick. There was no reason to keep it too long. And I'm just going to, in the 2 or 1.5 to 2 laps of that 3 to go restart, here's what happened. The 34, the 48, and the 21 all wreck. Harvick goes to the lead. Elliott gets spun, gets a little contact from Reddick, loses traction, spins. The 22, 43, and 24 wreck. Briscoe spins out. Looks like he's done. That's when they decide, of course, because of the flat spotted tires, they got to get fresh tires. That ultimately, that spin is what probably got Briscoe into the next round. And then a caution comes out for Ty Dillon spinning, debris on the track, and the curb was the debris on the track, causes the red flag. We have a bit of a down period, and I'm thinking, hey, maybe this is going to stop us from having a stupid finish. Maybe these drivers will mind their P's and Q's. Nope. I'm just going to cut myself off. Nope, right there. Overtime comes along, and right into the first corner, the 12, the 48, the 77, 34, and I think the 21 might have been in it. They all wreck, and the 9 car gets stopped. I'll be real. Like, I think Chase Elliott with fresh tires could have probably charged back up to a top 5 finish. He was that good today. But that pretty much relegated him to about a 20th place run. Then coming through the first couple corners, Bell gets past Harvick and runs away with it. Cindric is looking like he's going to actually be the one to make it in and not Briscoe. Cindric makes contact with Brad Keselowski, causes him to miss the chicane, and then Cindric, because of that, gets into the corner too hot, spins himself out, it looks like. Now, I only saw like 1 or 2 replays. It's been about 30 minutes. I could be wrong on that one, so correct me if I am wrong. But that pretty much covers what happens. You know, Cole Custer blocking big time for his teammate Chase Briscoe to make it. But as long as he doesn't admit it, NASCAR can't penalize him. Bell gets the win. Briscoe gets ahead of Larson in the points. That's your race. That's your race right there. I'm going to look at some of the super chats. We'll talk a little bit more about some of these subjects, depending on what you guys want to talk about. YNS Darksy, thank you for the 5. Larson's interview was so sad to watch, the way he talked so poorly about himself. Happy for Bell and my favorite driver, Bubba, with his 7th place finish. Yeah, I mean, this round has just been, we talked about it earlier, he's only made it past this round twice, and it's been a very almost cursed round for Kyle Larson. Just the year that I think he had like 3 engine issues in a row in this round, or at least it started like 3 or 4 engine issues in a row. He's had years where he's just been crashed out. It's been a problem for him the last couple years. Napa Racing Fan 927 for 5. Dumbest NASCAR finish ever. Larson shouldn't be eliminated. Bell won an undeserving race, and Elliott got spun racing for a road course win again. I'm not going to say it's the dumbest NASCAR finish ever. 2015 Talladega, and honestly, half the finishes from Talladega, my bad. The last couple years have been some of the dumber finishes than this. But it's still a pretty dumb finish. I agree. I think Larson deserves to be in the next round. He's been one of the top 5 best guys all year. And then I won't say Bell won an undeserving race. Bell was quick, especially for how bad the Toyotas were. Bell was pretty quick. And then, yeah, Elliott getting spun going for a road course win again. That's just how road courses are now. I almost feel like road courses are just like super speedway races without the pack. You know, Mafire 924, thank you for the 2. Playoff drivers rather have Briscoe over Larson. I mean, it makes it kind of fun, I guess. Brian 5995M, thank you for the 2. As a Larson fan, I feel so defeated that he's out. As a junior fan, I understand how you feel. At least you got that championship last year to go off of. Vows in the chat. Indy road course or this being a more stupid race? I don't know. Probably the Indy road course, honestly. Like, I really don't think that I don't think that this race was as bad overall as that one was at the end. Oh, baby, thank you for the 5. At least they didn't all drive in together the wall entering turn 1. I mean, some in the back did, but that's to be expected anymore. Oh, man. I guess I'll ask you guys a poll question. By the way, click that like button as we have over 500 watching. And if you're new here, subscribe. We'll do this pretty much every week, plus videos all through the week, shorts through the week, maybe another stream. I warn you now, I might not be on next week because I am running a marathon. I got to make sure I finish that, but seeing how it's a West Coast race, I should be done and be able to do that. Me and my buddy Black Flags Matt are running a marathon together. But I'll ask you guys a question here. Who had a more heartbreaking elimination? And the options will be Larson or Suarez. I got asked this earlier, and I think a lot of the people in the chat disagreed with me, so I'm gonna have a I'm gonna ask you guys. Let's see, unpin this. All right, good to go. So who had a more heartbreaking playoff elimination? Larson or Suarez? That's going to be interesting. Looking at some of the stuff you're saying in the chat, imagine if Harvick would have won, though. I would have loved that. It would be fun to see what Harvick would have to say after the last couple weeks. But Bunny Bread NASCAR drag racing series about the stuff about Elliott and versus the cameraman. I mean, getting a camera shoved in your face after a race, especially after getting dumped, has got to feel awful. Yeah, well, you're a professional athlete. You got to be ready for it, personally. Thank you, Draco. It says marathons are no joke. Good luck. I'll need it. I'm probably in like the worst shape of my life right now, but I don't quit. I don't want to quit. That's just not a smart thing to do. Tyler, thank you for the 5. I don't know what's worse today: Larson getting booted by two, or my sorry Lions getting shut out by the Pats. Love the content, homie. Well, thank you, Tyler. That's gotta be rough, bro. Being a Lions fan's gotta be rough. Thank you, by the way, to the mods for helping out with some of those spam accounts. Thank you, Antar Das, also for the 2. I've been up since 1 a.m. Eastern for F1. Yeah, I'm not a big F1 guy myself. I appreciate the craft of it, and I watch races from time to time. Who would be the points leader in the 04 format? It would still be Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott has been far and away the best driver this year, and people, I hope, appreciate that. Napa Racing Fan 927 for 2. Is this the end of the Roval? Fall oval race back in 24? Depends on the TV ratings. The Roval TV ratings have cratered compared to the rest of NASCAR in the last couple years. So I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. But I'm not gonna say for sure. I think what you need to look out for is if the TV contract is announced for 25 onwards. If that's announced before the schedule comes out, I think that'll dictate a lot of what they do with the schedule moving forward. Horizons, I see in the chat. This is the first real playoff stint that Suarez has had, and to see him struggle with power steering issues all day was hard to watch. I agree. And he looked like he's in pain. I saw this picture of him. Like, the dude has a lot of muscle on him. So that was, I mean, if there's somebody who's set up for it, seems like he is. Noah Coleman's in the chat. Don't get rid of the Roval. I think the big problem today wasn't the car. It was the next gen. And I see my son in the chat. That's funny. That's a username, by the way. I don't have kids. Says next gen ruins Roval, ruined the road courses in a lot of ways. The road course racing was not as on par overall this year. Same with the short track racing as usual. Just a lot of people. I heard Tyler saying F1 almost got Pierre Gasly killed. I heard that from what Darian told me, that it was like its stupidity made any NASCAR stupid look smart. I don't know. I see what the appeal is for a lot of people about F1, but I don't see the entertainment as much as NASCAR, even though, and I'm not even saying for entertainment, just more as a sport overall, even without the stupid entertainment bullshit thrown into it. NASCAR just for me has been more appealing. But I appreciate F1, man. I appreciate it. Byron should not have gotten his penalty overturned. I agree, Maley. I agree. I think it should have been at least like a 10, 15 point penalty. Maybe 25 was too much, especially when you compare it to what Ty Gibbs got, but I still think there should have been a penalty. By the way, for everybody watching, we're going to be on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast on Danny B. Talks channel this Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Got a lot to talk about from this week. A lot of news actually broke, and a lot of stuff went under the radar that we'll talk about. Let me pull up some of the stuff. I can tell you at least some of the topics we'll be going over this week on top of the Roval. I thought the Xfinity race, I probably should have done this after the Xfinity race because that was so much better than today. But we'll talk about the amended penalty from Byron, the disagreement on the TV money and how that affects NASCAR moving forward for probably if it's a 10-year deal again, it affects NASCAR's future 12 years at least. NASCAR drivers and NASCAR meeting each week. And then preview you guys for Las Vegas. And maybe or maybe not, me and Darian will be there. Depends if we die during the marathon. David Bell, thank you. Thanks for streaming. Well, thank you. And congratulations on Christopher's win. Speaking of NWP, Eric is an absolute shambles after his win picks. Yeah. He had a bad week, but Shaq can have bad weeks too. Didn't Eric pick James Davison to win? Yes, he picked him in the Xfinity Series. Correct. Thank you, Meatball, for the $4.99. Time to take off the rear diffusers or more horsepower. Too much grip in the corners. That might be an option they can do at the road courses and short tracks. Who did Eric pick? Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson. Danny got Christopher Bell right, so good for him. And I'm still winless on my win picks. But I got the most Xfinity win picks this year, so that's nice, I guess. NASCAR fan 93-100. A sad ending for the Charlotte Roval outside of Christopher Bell winning. Yeah, I'm happy because Christopher Bell has been my pick to win the championship. And I'd said even now, I'm like, if he can get past this round, I think he's got the Final Four in the bag personally. I think he's good enough at all these tracks. So that's going to be really big. By the way, let's see if we can get to 200 likes on this stream before we're out today. We have almost 500 watching still. Thank you guys so much. Again, still unsure about if we'll stream after the race next week, but for the rest of the year after that, Homestead, Martinsville, and the finale, we are going to stream after the race and the poll. People say Larson was the more heartbreaking one. I'll ask you guys this one, since y'all are the ones showing up. Would you guys like me to stream after every race of the finale weekend? So I'm going to put that in now. And there we go. Thank you, Sheepbot05 for the 2. Says the word "or" decided Larson playoffs. Yeah, literally one word, a technicality. Decided the playoffs for Kyle Larson. Horizon, thank you for the 5. Do we have confirmation if we are taking diffusers off for Martinsville? We are not. That's what Bob Pockers at least said. Oh, wow. Yeah, if you guys want me to stream after each race of the finale weekend, I can do that. Truck race is 10 p.m. on a Friday night, so we'll be up late. We're going to be up late, y'all. Is anyone on the podcast going to be at Phoenix? I don't know. I know that Danny and Darian will be in town. I don't know. I won't be. I wanted to be, but it's just prices are too high right now for me to make it out there without getting, credentials or anything. So I'm going to stay here. I feel like I'm going to become like the Tom Grossi of NASCAR, where I just stream for or after races. But you guys are speaking loud and clear. Looking like at the moment, 92% of the 154 votes are saying yes. Now it's 93%, 164. So I guess we're going to make finale weekend our streaming weekend. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this for every race. But next year I'm going to be doing a lot of streaming after these races. You guys love it. I love it. I love talking to you guys. I love hearing my own voice. I'm kidding. By the way, I'm not some egotist like that. But yeah, if you guys are down and maybe for big weekends or different things like that, I stream after races, we can do that. Ross Crash saying price is too high, bro. We gave you 300 like 2 weeks ago. I know, but that alone covers just one way to Phoenix for me, unfortunately. It sucks, but that's just the way it is right now with the way stuff's going. I'm trying to be smart, trying to get stuff prepared both for the end of this year and for next year for you guys. Hey, Jar Jar's back in the chat. Good to see you. Good to see you. Or good to see Yusa, I should say. Let's see what we got. I'm going to end the poll here. You guys have made it loud and clear that you're cool with me streaming after the races, each finale race. So I'm going to write that down on my calendar. I'm sure that my girlfriend in the other room might not be too happy about that, but we'll be all good. I'm a racing fan. Vikings over the Roval, at least for today. Yeah, baby, Skull. We got Purple Pride right here. Now, who's the 9% that didn't want to watch him stream? It's all right, Spencer. I get why people might not want to. But it's a good thing to try. I mean, if people are like really having fun with it, I probably can do pretty much. I can do a lot of races next year. With that, I'm gonna be at a lot of them, but I got some stuff set up that I might be able to stream at the track when I am not in the media center, so that'd be pretty fun. Newman fan Forever 39 brings up a good point. Had to pay $600 for next weekend's race. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Yeah, I could stay 2 hours away in Arizona, but it's there's only so many times. Like for instance, I stayed like an hour and a half away from Gateway when I went, and I was in the media center for that one even. But it was part of Illinois that I know how to get around Illinois. I know the area. I had my car. I was only being at that hotel. I was only like 3 hours from home, so if something happened, I could make it home. Whereas if I go out to Arizona, the plane costs alone might cost me about $500 at this point. Tickets would cost another $200, give or take, because I don't like having cheap ass seats. Hotel, it just there's too much cost involved with that, and I feel like I can give you guys the best possible coverage and videos and everything like that being here instead of just being in the stands having a net loss on it. And I know that sucks. I know it's getting into the nitty gritty, but I feel like I owe you guys an explanation. Y'all have been so good at getting in these streams and of supporting a lot of what I do. So like I said, I feel like I owe you guys to at least you guys to have clarity on that. Kevin Cook says Cole Custer. Cole Custer looked good today until his blocking at the end. Wow, we already have we have almost 3,000 votes in the poll. I mean, it's been up for almost an hour, so that's not out of the ordinary. I'll look at what it's saying. Oh, wow, that is polarizing. There is no clear-cut consensus, and that does not happen much on the poll. Like, I'll tell you this, you guys are a very positive audience, but that's surprising to me. Billy the Fourth, welcome. We got a new member here. Welcome to the Iceberg. Happy to have you, and I believe, let me zoom in. Is that a Derek? I can't see. Is that a Derek Henry picture? I can't tell just because it's been so far away, but welcome. I apologize if I don't have all the craziest stuff, but I might add some stuff to do for streams since we're going to be streaming a lot more both at the end of this year and next. But thank you for joining, man. Ross Crash Day and Bro Custer needs to go to Buffalo Wild Wings. Absolute wingman. I might use that one. Yeah, that was iffy, I'll just say. Nigel says, can't believe it. Christopher Bell. Yeah. I mean, if we're looking forward right now, at the 8 that we got now, Elliott, Bell, Blaney, Logano, Hamlin, Byron, Chastain, Briscoe. My picks to make the Final Four at the moment are Elliott, Bell, Logano. Those are my 3 have been in my Final Four so far. By the way, thank you guys again. Thank you, mods, for the work y'all do. You guys are doing awesome in the chat. Good job on that. But of the other ones, of those, I might have to say Denny Hamlin. Looking at the numbers, Denny Hamlin is actually, not for Denny Hamlin standards, but he's had a actually pretty good season compared to the way he started. And maybe he gets hot late. Watch this be the year that Denny Hamlin wins when he probably does not deserve to win. Man. But any last thoughts before we end off tonight? Remember, NASCAR Weekly Podcast is this Wednesday night on Danny B Talks channel, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Got plenty to talk about. Got a lot of cool stuff planned. And also, while I'm thinking about it, I'll pull up my itinerary sheet for the podcast. After this week, only 4 episodes left, so you guys got to be there. It's Danny's last podcast of the year. So, going to be really cool. And again, if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. I'll keep an eye out for like a minute or two. Any last super chats I might roll in. I don't want to leave any of y'all behind. And also any good comments out there. But if not, I'm going to go run 8 miles. It's my last really big run to my marathon next Sunday. And any updates on the owner's points? I don't know about owner point stuff personally, but I would assume the 23 or the 45, I think, missed it. I'm not sure, though. Actually, the 45 got a top 10, so maybe the 45 actually made it. Who knows? I see a lot of Final Fours here. Meredith says her Final Four is Bell, Elliott, Logano, and Blaney. Slick says Bell, Hamlin, Elliott, Logano, so that's mine at the moment. Thank you, Newman Fan Forever 39. Says one of your favorite YouTubers. I appreciate that. I really do. Mark says Danny's last, so it'll be fishing talk. No. Oh, so the 45 did miss. From what Kiana's saying in the chat, 45 missed the next round in the owners playoffs. So I think that about about wraps it up here. I don't know if there's really anything else, but man, there's going to be a lot to talk about this week. I think we have a couple videos coming out. We got some stuff in the round of 8 coming out tomorrow. Some stuff on Toyota. Few shorts coming out. I'm getting into the shorts game. And then the marathon this weekend. So thank you guys for watching. Again, watch on Danny's channel. Watch this channel. If you're new here, subscribe. We'd love to have you. And until next week, I'll see you next time. See you on any videos tomorrow. Bye.